Hello and good evening in India, good morning in US, Canada. Thank you very much for being with me. Welcome one and all. Thank you once again for being with me this Sunday. And I'm really excited and looking forward to being with all of you to share some very powerful insights about what makes ordinary people extraordinary. Those of you who know me well, and I don't need to introduce myself, but I'm sure there are people who have just joined in through Facebook, through other links, and then they may not even have heard about my name. So let me very quickly, very briefly let you know that I am Amin Virani, and I conduct and then do sessions in the area of transformation. This has been my passion, my love. Uh, I've been doing it for the last more than 25 years, 20 years and more for sure. And I was a bit skeptical to begin with when I got into this particular arena in this discipline, because I never believed that anybody can bring about any kind of change in the human behavior uh, over a period of few coaching sessions or over a period of 3 days or even 30 days for that matter. And then given my background, I studied my master's in education from University of London, and then also did a lot of work in the area of studying religions. So I had my big doubts about what is possible when it comes to supporting people, coaching people into bringing about a shift in the way they create their future. But over a period of time, I came across many authors, many books, and most important, I came across a very powerful breakthrough technology. The technology that actually not just convinced me, but transformed me. Uh, I will be saying and sharing everything that I know or understand and I have implemented in my life, not only in this webinar, but I'm going to share this in the next 6 sessions that I'm going to conduct with a very select group of people, very select committed people who would like to take this journey with me for the next 6 sessions as well. And I'm going to make it super easy for them to enroll in case they feel and they realize that, yes, I am now ready to listen to the coach. They say that the master appears when the disciple is ready. And if the disciple is not ready, the master may not be there. And that's fine, because you and I may not be ready for everything at any given point in time in life. But you must have experienced this in your life, that whenever you really needed something in life, when you needed some kind of not just knowledge and information, but some kind of insight, you suddenly found that that particular insight, that piece of thought, that piece of knowledge came in front of you, and you practiced it and then brought about the shift that you wanted in your life. So without much ado, I would like to now go forward. Um, I have conducted this seminar, this webinar on Don't Focus on Goal if you want to succeed in life last Sunday, but I could only cover part of that. And I'm going to cover the balance part in this webinar. So those who attended also will get a little more value than what they got earlier. Uh, so please don't get worried if I were to summarize in the beginning as to what we did last weekend, so that everybody is brought up to mark, those who are coming for the first time here. And once you get the basics about what we discussed last time, we will go further into the whole conversation. Um, is there any question or any thought that anybody would like to share? Then please feel free to put it in the chat box. I would love to also listen to people in case somebody would like to just share anything that they have got either out of my previous sessions or out of this particular session, and they would like to comment or share. So long as it is out of your life, so long as it is out of your sharing, so long as it is out of something that you got and you would like to communicate, make a difference, contribute, please feel free and then go ahead with it. You will have to raise your hand, and then I will invite you to unmute yourself, and you can share yourself. My sessions always have been conversational, but today, because I have decided to restrict myself to 60 minutes, I may not make it too interactive. but I would be most willing to listen to some of you who have to talk or have to share. Or, you know what? The big issue with all of us is what? Procrastination. Big issue with all of us is fear, fear of failure, fear of not looking good in people's eyes. And then some of you may want to break that particular fear right now in this particular webinar. And if you feel like doing that, I would even welcome and then give you that opportunity to just speak up and break that barrier that has been kind of trapping you, imprisoning you for the last many, many years. And you are saying, no, Amin, thank you very much. I'm with you this time. And right now, I'm not so motivated and I'm not so inspired. But if I do get motivated and inspired, please give me an opportunity. And then, mashallah, I will be always there for you to support you, to coach you, and then allow you to speak. So there are many first timers here, but very quickly, can I just know how many of you attended last Sunday as well? So I get an idea as to how many are there who will find it a little repetitive, even if I summarize. All of you have to do is say yes, yes, or I did, yes, or yes. Just say yes, and I will know how many people attended last Sunday. Otherwise, most of you, there are 96 participants right now, chances are you are going to attend for the first time. So we'll summarize, but maybe summarize at length if there are not many people uh, who are repeating this time. So I see that, yes, most of you are first timers and new for the first time. So let's go ahead in the seminar, in the webinar, and move ahead. Uh, keep saying yes if you attended last time. Uh, Somebody's saying, I found last week's seminar motivating. Thank you so much. You make my day. You make my day in terms of starting my webinar today. And we will have some very exciting time in the next 60 minutes. And we will discuss this particular theme today, very powerful theme. If you are looking to have breakthroughs in your life, if you are stuck, if you want to find out how to get unstuck in life, if you have achieved small goals, but now you want to achieve your big ambitious goals, if you are saying, no, I have had big ambitious goals, but somehow right now I keep saying to myself, it is not within my reach. I don't think I'll be able to achieve that. I don't think I'll be able to become wealthy or rich. I don't think I'll be able to study further. I don't think I'll be able to build these kind of relationships that I would love to build with my family, with my friends, with outsiders. If you are having those issues in your mind right now, inshallah, God willing, we will look at those issues and I will give you some strategies and tips today. And if you are willing to be with me for the next 6 sessions, oh, I would love that. And I promise you, you will get whatever you will desire out of those particular sessions, having gotten it. I'll repeat, I promise you, you will get whatever you desire out of those sessions, having gotten it. You may think that, these are all big words and big claims, but I'm saying, give me a chance, give me an opportunity. And if you are committed, and if you are really, really saying to yourself, enough is enough, my past is enough, I cannot carry on with the way I have carried on all my life, 20 years or 60 years. I want a new life. I would like to have a life where I am every morning getting up out of my bed, full of energy, vitality, uh, self-expression, wanting to go ahead and not only achieve myself, but also contribute to mankind. If you're saying that, I am there for you. I am with you. And I'll let you know in the end how you can be with me if you're committed to bringing about a big difference in your life and in the lives of your family and also mankind, if you can. So I think we have waited enough for 112 participants. Now they're here. And what I would like to do is I would ask somebody to summarize what went by last Sunday. So is there somebody who would like to raise his or her hand and then just very briefly express what you got out of last Sunday in case you attended it? If you haven't attended and if you do not want to share, no worries. I will invite, in the meantime, Bilkish Tejani, who was there last time. I can see her there. And I will ask her to very quickly summarize what exactly transpired in terms of don't focus on goals. Please listen to her carefully, because hopefully she has grasped and then she has really captured the message of last webinar. And then many people had this big question, oh, are you saying don't set goals? Then what did we learn all our lives? We were told to set smart goals. specific, measurable, attainable, uh, uh, relevant, time bound. And you are saying I should be doing that. I'm not saying that. Hopefully, she'll explain right now. So, we are not saying that setting goals is not important. All we are saying is focusing on those goals is creating issues in our lives, not making us effective, and not giving us the results that we want. And what are the downside of focusing on the goals rather than something other than goals that we are talking about here? So, if nobody else would like to share anything or speak here and then lose this opportunity, I know it is very difficult for anybody to raise hand at this point in time, especially when we are beginning. But if somebody were to do that, I would find that person to be very courageous, honestly. I would find that person to be already on his or her path to becoming extraordinary in a very small way, but that small step is a very big step in the context of our lives. So it's okay if you can't really share right now. Bilkish will come along and then share. So Bilkish, please go ahead, unmute yourself,
Yes,
and then carry
yes,
on.
I have. Thank you very much. First of all, I'm excited to be here and excited to see a lot of new people, first timers. And thank you, Amin sir, for your clarity and for this opportunity to be able to summarize. Okay, so quickly, first of all, when I heard that topic, it was like, excuse me, what are you saying? So, all right. So the summary, I think I got four major things out of this particular last seminar. And first was recognizing our patterns. Second was why not to focus on our goals. Thirdly, our identity is foundational. And fourth, the obstacles that we face. So, first one is recognizing our pattern. And I love the line you mentioned, how we do anything is how we do everything.
Brilliant, very good.
So, similarly, what we have been doing in the past is something that we will continue to do in the future.
Wow.
And that is what really becomes our default future, because you spoke about the default future. That our
Yes.
default future is that if we do not change anything right now drastically and deliberately, that
Yes.
same future will keep coming back. So
Yes.
basically, the past will keep coming back, and there will not be any major difference. So that was a bit of a shaking us up. So
Okay.
that was good. And to do that, I think what we really need to do is break our patterns. So
Mm-hmm.
we have certain way of being, certain patterns.
Yeah.
And I remember once I said changing the patterns, and you corrected me and you said it's not changing the pattern, it is breaking the pattern.
And then if you can
So
also elaborate on why did
yes,
I say we are not
yes,
talking about changing, but breaking?
yes, yes, exactly. So when we are talking about changing, so then it is one pattern is replaced by another pattern. But
Okay.
when we are looking at breaking the pattern, so it is like creating a blank slate where anything is possible,
Okay.
where you can create, invent, and rewrite your future, and where you're coming from the future and not from any past.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
that is, yeah.
Yes.
And what I loved about it is that, you said we all of us want a brand new future. We want a new future. We want an invented future. But yet, why don't we get it?
Yes.
So we don't get it because the $1 million question is that are we interested or are we truly committed?
Mm. Mm.
And that
Mm.
is what makes all the difference.
Yes.
Because our actions will vastly depend on whether we are just interested or whether we are truly committed.
Right.
And here, Amin sir, with your permission, I'd quickly like to share a small example, my personal example. So my
Okay.
husband has always been overweight.
Okay.
From the time I got married, I always thought he was overweight.
Okay.
So all the gyms, dietitians, nutritionists, no, there was no needle that was the needle did not move. It only moved as in it kept increasing. The weight only
Yes.
kept increasing. It never reduced.
Okay.
So much so that, because of that, he had some illnesses which were related to weight.
Right.
And then once it came up to the point that where he needed surgery.
Uh-huh.
And that was like a wake up call for us. And that's the time we went to a nutritionist. And
Okay.
that nutritionist, whatever she said made 100% sense.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that I can assure you that forget your weight, but your illnesses will be completely gone.
Wow.
And the weight would just be a byproduct, but my focus is not your weight.
Okay.
And we loved what we heard.
Yes.
So what we did is that was the first time, I mean, so I actually saw my husband truly committed. When we came home, we
Yeah.
threw away all the medication.
Wow.
We
Wow.
literally threw it away, like the back door was shut.
Okay.
And we said, we are going to follow whatever she said to the T.
Yes.
And she told Nasrullah to go on raw for a week.
Yes.
So you know how much my husband loves food.
Yes.
He's somebody who lives to eat. So
Yes.
to be on raw for 1 week was like quite a daunting task.
Okay.
But because he was committed, he ended up not just doing it for 1 week, but for 8 weeks.
Wow. Wow.
And his his health issues kind of just vanished.
Okay.
And of course, he lost 17 kilos in the bargain, which was a
Wow.
byproduct.
Excellent.
And just talking about commitments are that whenever, like, we used to travel, we made it a point to carry our lemon shots or basically nimbus, the squeezer, and the knife, lest we don't get
Yes.
it. So we
Yes.
made it a point that we carried it. So otherwise, under normal circumstances, all this would seem too cumbersome and too difficult and can't do it. But when you spoke about the commitment and the interest, I thought this came out glaringly that
Beautiful.
commitment was something that was there. Yeah.
Beautiful. Go ahead.
So, okay. The second thing which you spoke about was why not to focus on our goals. So,
Yes. Now
because
this is
the
important.
end, yeah, because the end goal sometimes can just overwhelm us.
Okay.
And it is, if we set a lofty goal, like for example, in my husband's case, now had we just set a goal that, oh, he should always be like, on no medication and he should lose 20 kilos in 3 months,
Right.
it would have been an impossible task.
Excellent.
But because there were systems, like the
Uh-huh.
nutritionist gave us steps, these are
Uh-huh.
the things that what we can do every day.
Yes.
What do I need to do every day?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what we spoke about, that focus on the system, focus on the
Ah,
process,
good one.
focus on the habit. So
Good one.
automatically the goal will be achieved.
Yes.
And yeah, last time Sophie shared a beautiful example about that when you think of like raising another human being,
Yes.
becomes such a daunting task. But if you
Yes.
just take each day the way it comes, that, okay, my
Yes.
job is to keep my child alive and
Yes.
healthy and
Yes.
nourished, then at the
Yes.
end of 18 years, you have a beautiful human being, full grown, well educated, rooted in values.
Yes.
But otherwise, it's a very scary. I think
Daunting
it's
task.
similar. Yeah, it's similar with a tree. Like if you say that, oh, you want a big tree at the end of, like, but then you begin with sowing the seed, watering it
Yes.
regularly, taking care of it. And
Yes.
that's it. Nature will take care of it and you'll have a beautiful tree.
So what you're saying is that at the end of the day, instead of worrying about the
The
ultimate
goal.
goal,
Yes.
just find out what are those habits that you need to inculcate, that you need to
Yes.
bring about in your life, such that on a very, very consistent basis, on an everyday basis, whether
Correct.
you like it or not, but because it is such a small act that you're supposed to do of, let's say, just having lime every morning,
Yes.
that that becomes possible for you to do. And once you
Yes.
start getting into that particular habit, two things happen. One, because it is such a small one, you will do it consistently. Number two, not only you will do it, but it will become a habit. And the best part about
Yes.
habit is they become automatic. I
Right.
don't even think about going and brushing my teeth. It's an automatic thing. So you
True.
make a good habit an automatic habit. And finally, most important, and I'm sure you will probably also mention that, is that when you concentrate on the habit and not on the goal, what
Hmm.
happens is when you are only focusing on the goal, if you don't see any progress on a day by day basis, and then I'm not losing my weight,
Hmm.
which 15 kg is my goal to lose,
Right.
you get disappointed, you get
Right.
discouraged, you almost feel that no, I'm not capable of doing that, and I will not be able to achieve because I never achieved it in the past, or even if I achieved it, I came back into my original situation. So then you get discouraged, maybe even depressed at times of not
Yes.
achieving your goals. But if you now begin to see the power behind the insight that these authors have given us, that concentrate and focus on the habits, what happens is, even if you don't lose the weight, by just taking the lime, the nimbu every morning, you know your system is working, and that gives you
Hmm.
happiness, that gives you a confidence that yes, I'm a person who can keep my word. And once you begin to see yourself as a person keeping your word, you will not only do it, but you will start getting the compound effect of those habits that suddenly one day you'll find, like the Chinese bamboo tree. Have you heard of a Chinese bamboo tree? I don't know if you know about this, Bilkesh, but a Chinese bamboo tree, when you sow the seed, you mentioned about trees, so I recollected.
Yeah.
When you sow the seed of that particular tree, for the first 5 years, the shoots will only come out up to a few inches or maybe a couple of feet only. And you will say to yourself, my goodness, for 5 years I've been watering, I've been giving the heat, I have been tending it, I'm taking care of it, and look, it is not growing. Go to Google and find out the Chinese bamboo tree. After fifth year, in the sixth year, it shoots up to 20 feet, to
Wow.
40 feet, to
Wow.
60 feet. And then you
Oh my.
wonder what went right and what went wrong for the first 5 years. Nothing went wrong. In the first 5 years, now this is very powerful. This is not my theme right now, but I'll still mention it, that in the first 5 years, you may think the tree is not growing. But actually, you know what was happening? In the first 5 years, the tree was growing beneath the ground. It was going deeper and deeper, and the roots were going so deep and so strong that finally, in the sixth year, when it shoots up to 80 feet, these roots are able to hold the tree. If that had not happened in the first 5 years, and if the tree were to shoot up like that, it would once again break down. I'm telling you, this is a powerful example, and we need to think about this and reflect about this in our life, that are we doing something where we are strengthening the foundation, or no, we are only looking for lose the weight, make more money, I'm not
Yes.
going ahead in my business, my children are not listening to me, etc., etc., etc. So I hope you're getting this insight, that what we are now asking you is, habits are powerful, they have a compound effect. I'll talk about this a little more, but Bilkesh, if you can now conclude, what are the other two
Yes.
quick ones?
Okay, yeah, quickly. Yeah, so just thank you very much. This was again beautiful, which you said last time. So I would just like to repeat: practice is not the means to the outcome. The
Ah,
practice is the outcome,
beautiful,
because
beautiful.
that is the only thing we can control. So as you
Ah,
said, so
this
that
is
is
good
the
one.
yes, so that is the only thing we can control. So
Yes,
so
yes,
that is I can do, like you said, I can do this.
yes, yes.
I can walk for 5 minutes. I can read a page. I can, these are small little things which I can do. So this is the only
Beautiful,
thing I can control,
beautiful.
which I found very powerful, which you made.
Excellent, excellent. Bilkesh, what we are saying here is that somebody asked a question. If I don't focus on my goals, how will I achieve it? Right now, to that question, the answer is, don't worry about the goals.
Yeah.
That will get achieved. Now you may think, oh, how will it get achieved? But I'm telling you, it is because we haven't realized the power of those little acts that we do every day, convert it into our habits, and convert it into our identity, which I'm going to now talk about.
Yes.
Focus on the identity. And you'll say it. But
So,
the point that you're making, and I want to just re-emphasize what you're saying
yeah.
here, is that why am I saying activity, the habit, and not the goal? Because goals are not in your control. Losing the weight is not in your control. But yes, having a nimbu every single day is in my control. And to that extent, I will now concentrate and focus on those good habits that I need to imbibe. Beautiful. It is all about, listen, in life, there are many things that you and I can't control. Especially, we can't control our wives and husbands. We can't control outsiders, our employees. We can't control people who are not in our control. Who can we control? We can only control ourselves. And if you have this question, how do I convince my husband or wife to lose weight? How do I make somebody start living life appropriately with good habits? How do I bring about a shift in my employees' mindset? How do I achieve big goals in my life? If you have those questions right now in your head, I'm inviting you, be with me. 6 sessions, not very, very intense, just 2 hours every weekend on Saturday and Sunday. We will meet 6 times, but I promise you, if you are really, really inclined, and you're saying to yourself, like Bilkish mentioned here, default future. We all have a default future. If you are overweight, you will remain overweight. Not just that, but if you are going to remain overweight, you will start making friendship with only people who are overweight, so that you don't feel bad about it that I am overweight. And then they say that 57% chances are you will become obese if you are with the obese people. No, I'm not saying this is 100%, but they're saying 57% chance. The point is, we always listen to what we would like to listen to. We never listen to something that we really need to listen to. These 6 sessions, if you are with me, God willing, we will start listening. Our problem is we are not listening. You know what is our big problem? Our big problem is to let people see who they actually are. I'm repeating this. The big challenge in life is to let people see who they are. And right now, who you and I see about ourselves is something that is part of our default future. I was not a first class student ever in my life. So I will see myself as a C grade student all my life. I never made big money. So I'll always say to myself, I'm not a good businessman. And I never ever felt that I can do what I'm doing right now on webinar. Today I'm doing it. Thank you very much. I really honor your presence here. People who are here, 133, 34 people. Whether you be with me for next 6 sessions or not, I'm very grateful to you. I'm grateful to Bilkish to take up this challenge to summarize for me so that I can go ahead in this webinar very quickly. Bilkish, go ahead, complete it.
Okay, great. Yes, so the third point which you just mentioned is that our identity is foundational.
Yes.
So there are 3 layers of behavior change. At the
Yes.
core is the identity, which is followed by the process, and the
Yeah.
outcome is the natural fallout of the process.
Right.
So if my outcome is to run a marathon, then I
Mhm.
need to be running regularly. And then, okay, that makes me possible. That makes it possible for me to run a marathon. So, sir, again, I'd like to mention about this that, in fact, 12 years back, I ran a half marathon. And that time the goal was to run the half marathon. So we all of
Okay.
us joined together and we joined these classes or this coach who trained us. So for
Okay.
those 4 months we got trained, and at the end of 4 months we ran the marathon.
Okay.
But after 12 years, I have never run another marathon again.
Okay.
So what you mentioned was very powerful last time, is that when I create my identity as a runner, so my goal is not to run the marathon,
Yes.
but my identity is that I am a runner.
Uh-huh.
So I'm a runner because I run 3 to 4 times a week.
Right.
And I run that irrespective of whether or not I want to run the marathon.
Beautiful.
But the fact that
Beautiful.
I run 3 to 4 times a week,
Yes.
whenever there is a marathon in my city, I can
Yes.
very easily just run. So
Excellent.
had you met me, sir, not met me, of course, you met me, but I wish you had told this to me 12 years back. By now, I would have run at least 12 marathons.
Wow, Bilkish,
So
thank
which
you.
I did
Thank you.
not run. I hopefully hope to
Yeah.
become a runner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Similar, something happened that I started my YouTube channel about
Uh-huh.
a year back.
Wow.
Yeah, so I thought I will put my insights, and I put about 10 YouTube videos,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and after that I haven't put
Stopped.
any.
Okay. Now this is
So
crucial.
it is not that I don't have content.
Yes.
I have enough content.
Yes.
It is not that I don't enjoy it. I love
Yes.
it.
Yes.
But you know the obstacles which you spoke of. So all
Yes.
those obstacles, no time, I have
Yes.
other priorities, circumstances are not
Yes.
right. I'll do it
Yes.
tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
I'll start from next
How
month.
many of you can relate to what she's saying about your own life, about your own goals, about what you want to achieve in your life? I hope you are listening to her, not so much as, oh, why is she talking so much? But, you know, our problem is what? Our problem is we resist. When we resist, it persists. I'm inviting you, start figuring out what are your resistance. Start figuring out what is it that holds you back. Start listening to people, even if they are giving you advice. Although I'm the first person who will say, never give a free advice to others, even to your children, even to your husband and wife. I learned it very late. So I had a lot of quote unquote torture in the earlier phase of my life. But when I came across this technology, I realized, yes, I have to stop resisting, stop asking for change. Uh, and I'm saying, listen, don't give free advice, but when somebody gives us a free advice, we must always listen to it. But listen and only take what is working for us and not take what is not working for us. We'll talk about this in detail in those 6 sessions. But I think, Bilkish, you have summarized it quite well.
Yes,
Just to
that's
conclude
it.
what you are saying, what Bilkish is saying here is what we discussed last time. Even before you have your habits going, now this is very, very crucial. I'm again repeating this, not focusing on goals, but focusing on your habits. Now, these habits also will not be working for you, and you will not be able to consistently commit yourself to it unless and until you work on something which is further deeper inside you. And what inside you, which is deeper, is called identity. What is inside you, which you need to work upon, which is called inside out approach by many, many authors. Now, starting with Stephen Covey, most authors will tell you, have an inside out approach. Try and work on yourself, on your identity. And here what we are saying is that you don't need to become a marathon runner. Even if you cannot run 6 days a week, run 3 days a week. If you can't run 1 kilometer, run just a few steps. Even if you can't run a few steps, at least wear your shoes. It is called an initiation ritual. From now onwards, whatever your goal is, and in this case, it is the running, what you're supposed to do is at least wear your tennis shoes every morning. See if you can get out of your flat. See if you can get out of your building. If you can get out of your house and then run a little bit and come back if you don't feel like running, but you have done your ritual and you have proved to yourself, you have given an evidence to yourself, I'm committed. Now, this creates an identity, and this way you're giving a vote. Every single time you wear your tennis shoes, you are giving one more vote to your identity called I am a runner. If Bilkish had done that 12 years ago as a ritual, it would have been very simple to do. And then who knows, she might have run many, many more marathons than what she has done today. I'm saying consider this very strongly. Whatever I'm sharing with you and what she did just now, these are not uh, anything to be taken lightly. If you want a shift in your life, if you want a breakthrough, and if you want to become far, far bigger than who you are, the biggest problem is seeing yourself as who you are right now. Who we see ourselves as, Krishnamurti says, a bundle of prejudice, a bundle of biases. We are second-hand human beings, and we have lost ourselves. Krishnamurti is saying we have lost ourselves, and now we do not even have the freedom to do, or to have, or to be what you would like to be, do, and have in the present or in the future. So I'm saying we need to work on creating a new future, and that will happen if you will create a new identity. And to create a new identity, what she's summarizing here is start taking small habits every single day and keep building the identity. I'm good enough, I'm capable, I'm smart also, I can also speak like Amin, I can also conduct webinars, I can also do YouTube. Why did she stop? She stopped because, like you and me, we start an activity, get motivated, do it for a month or two, and then it fizzles off. Now, here I'm giving you a formula, honestly, of how not to fizzle out, how to remain consistently motivated is what we're discussing. And if there is anybody who would like to even share something out of their lives, if they have got something out of this conversation, feel free to share and just raise your hand if you can. I'd love to hear. Otherwise, I'm going to go further into my slides and then talk about identity. So is there anybody who would like to share something? Yes, there is Dilshad who wanted to say something. So Dilshad, if you would like to come up, please go ahead quickly. Is Dilshad around? No, I can't see Dilshad now here. Sorry. Okay, Lionel, you would like to go ahead? I hope I'm pronouncing
Yes,
your name
yes.
properly.
Yeah. Am I audible?
You're quite audible, and please go ahead. And if you can't have your video on, no worries. We will listen to you.
Yeah, my laptop does not have a webcam, so apologies for that. Anyway, cutting to the chase, I have been unemployed for 6 months.
Okay.
Uh, but recently I had a breakthrough. I got my dream job.
Wow.
Uh, I got my dream job,
Okay.
and it's just that it's very surprising and shocking. And I also got the girl. I've been dating for a while. She
Uh-huh.
also said yes. So there have been two turning points, and in my dream job, I'm handling a team of around 30 people.
Wow.
It's just that I myself don't feel internally validated. That identity
Ah,
shift has not taken place.
beautiful.
It's just that other people have more faith in me than I do in myself.
Uh-huh.
So that is the crisis that I'm facing. That is the dilemma that I'm facing right now.
Wow.
That I
Lionel,
don't have that.
Lionel, thank you for your sharing. I'm telling you, first of all my kudos to you for being so courageous and then coming up here to share. You know, you don't know, but you have inspired 148 people here right now. Honestly, I'm telling you. Now, thank you for being so very honest. You know, when you are honest, you're vulnerable. When you're honest, you will probably look bad in people's eyes. When you are vulnerable, you have a feeling that people will start taking advantage of me. Therefore, people don't open up. People will just remain shut. Now, right now, I'm not asking everybody to speak because I don't have time. But when you will be with me for 6 days, I promise you, this particular issue of yours that you are not able to validate yourself, we will take care of that. Issue of not being able to speak, not having enough confidence, we'll take care of that. Not even having competence, we'll take care of that. I am not able to organize my life such that I always deal with my important goals rather than urgent goals. We will take care of it. And if you have a problem of not being consistently motivated, we will take care of how to become unstoppable in life. Now, Leonel, all I want to let you know is that if in this conversation, all we discussed right now is exactly what you want to work on. And what you want to work on is that right now, Leonel, like everybody else and like myself, I myself have this problem that we have a particular belief system about ourselves.
Yes,
And
yes, indeed.
yes, and then that belief is creating our destiny. This belief of ours determines our future. And this belief is so true for us that we cannot accept that there can be any other belief about our own self. Now, therefore, the idea is how do I transform myself such that if my belief is I'm not really, really good enough, I was unemployed for 6 months and suddenly I've got my dream job. You think I deserve it? Maybe not. Maybe I'm not really competent. It is just happened by chance. It has come to me, but will I be able to sustain it? Now, these are the big questions that keep occurring in our head. And in our head, there is somebody called little voice. There is somebody called voiceover. There is somebody called already always listening. We already have this conversation happening in our head. If I were to ask you right now this question, I'm sorry, I'm digressing a little bit, but these are fundamental things. And if I can give you one or two powerful fundamental insights, I'm I'm sure whether you are with me or not in future, you will be able to see a big transformation in your life. First thing I want to tell you is that right now, if I were to ask you, close your eyes and just listen to that voice that is going on in your head. Are you able to listen to him or not? I'm just asking you this question. And if you are able to listen to that voice in your head, I want you to say, yes, yes, I can listen to him. And if somebody can also tell me, what is that
Yes, I
little
can
voice
listen to
telling
him.
you right now? Please mention it in the chat box so that I know you are getting my question. So can you hear your little voice? Can you hear your voiceover? Can you hear that stupid critical voice occurring in your head right now? And then it's telling you something, or it may not be stupid things. He may be saying something very intelligent to you, but that he's talking to you. Can you recognize that? Can you identify it? Very good. Shamin is saying yes. Amit is saying yes. Yes. Can somebody give me an example of what it is right now talking to you? What it is saying to you very quickly? So it is saying, yes, Nina, you can do it. Beautiful. Uh, this is not academic. Okay, you mean my webinar is not academic? Probably yes. And somebody saying, no, I can't hear him. Okay, you know what? If you are saying that you cannot hear him and that he's not talking to you, that is what that little voice is telling you. Even that is your little voice that tells you, oh no, there is no little voice in my head. It is saying, you want to do this? Remember, you have to complete your assignment before tomorrow morning. Blissful, beautiful, beautiful. So some of you are now able to see, I'm not academic. Okay, I get that. It is all mixed in my head right now. Beautiful. All I want to tell you is, this little voice is running your life and my life. You and I are nothing but our little voice. Most of the time, we are guided, trained, and directed by this little voice. It tells me, Amin, right now you're not in the mood to listen to Amin. That is the little voice. Right now you are tired because it's a long day and now it's right in the evening. And generally, you are not able to then carry on powerfully in the evening. This is the little voice telling you. Now, all I want to right now tell you very briefly is what you consider to be true about your little voice. What you consider yourself to be true about your little voice is not true. And you have to have a thinking that gets you out of this thinking. And the only way to deal with that little voice is, first of all, to recognize and then tell him, I'm the master, not you. And I will not go by my thoughts, and I will not go by my feelings. I will not even go by my behavior, but I will do what I would like to do in my life. And right now, I want to be with Amin and listen to him. And if you're saying I'm tired, thank you very much. I heard you, but I will once again attempt. And shall I give you one very powerful insight right now? We will discuss this and you can apply it in your life and come back with sharing next time. If you don't feel like doing something at this point in time, first of all, recognize it is not you. It is your feeling that does not want you to do. Be very clear. You are not your thoughts and you are not your feelings. Secondly, understand you are not alive. When you don't participate when you are alive. When you participate, you become alive. This has been such a powerful insight for me in my life that I am able to move mountains now. Honestly, I'm telling you. You don't participate when you are alive. When you are alive, when you participate, you become alive. I have seen this millions of times, evidence in my life that now, earlier I had a problem. I can't do my accounts at night. I get tired. Now I can do anything at any point in the day. Honestly, I'm telling you, I have built that muscle. I have not allowed my emotions to control me, my thoughts to control me. I am the master. Occasionally I slip, I get back. I slip, I get back. And how do I get back? By participating. I take on that small step. Tie my shoes. That's it. I feel like running after that. Shelna Kasam also wanted to share something. Quickly, Shelna, if you can go ahead.
Oh, hi, it's Shalina. So I wanted to share my insight about when I worked with you. One is we live in stories, not facts.
Beautiful.
And in my case, I was struggling with a project. A goal I had was to become a calligraphy artist, an Arabic calligraphy artist.
Okay.
I had been at it for about 2 years and I wasn't progressing. I was frustrated. I stopped enjoying what was supposed to be like a pleasurable hobby. And then I began avoiding it. And I tried all kinds of strategies, setting goals, planners, establishing routines, positive thinking, and to no avail. And through the process of understanding the 3 laws that I learned from you, you explained it's important to distinguish fact from the meaning we give them.
Beautiful.
And for me, the meaning, basically with my calligraphy, the fact is that I practice writing Arabic letters in a particular script. That's it. But now when I sit down to practice, I came with my very own Greek tragedy, like a story that had various iterations of the thought, oh, not good enough. Like I'm not talented enough. I'm not artistic enough. I started too late in my life and I'll never amount to making any great art. What's the point? So you explained to me that I was living into a default future, which was driven by my past identity and basically a failure waiting to happen.
Beautiful, 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 Shelna.
And
Shelna,
then
brilliant.
And then the second insight was, of course, rewriting the future and the difference between setting goals and actually inventing your future. And the one thing is to declare and make a promise about what you want to be or create,
Excellent.
and then take action as
Excellent.
that person you want to become.
Uh-huh.
So show up as that identity, that person. So in my case, I declared I wanted to be a calligraphy artist, and the action or habit she takes is to practice daily. So
Yes.
the calligraphy artist comes alive through action, through
Yes.
participation.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
and so I show up and I practice every day, and my experience is basically either neutral, like my
Uh-huh.
or truly enjoyable.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Are you complete, Shelna?
Yep.
Good, good. Thank you, Shelna, for sharing what you shared. Brilliant example. Another example of somebody taking on something like calligraphy. Now, who takes calligraphy? Honestly speaking, would you ever consider doing that? I don't think I would do it. I have been in the Islamics, for a long time, but I never believed that I could ever do anything to it. I appreciate, I enjoy. Now she takes it on. And for 2 years, she has struggled. And then honestly, like anybody else, if somebody's taken such a big, ambitious goal, she's having frustration that, oh, at the end of the day, I can realize I'm not really capable. I'm not competent. And then you start losing confidence. And then you start losing everything that you have in terms of momentum and motivation. And then here, I think she has been with me for a very little time so far. She attended part of my sessions last time, which I had conducted six of them. And she has had some personal conversation with me 3 or 4 times. And I tried to convey what I could convey to her in those, but I'm sure she's going to be with me for 6 more sessions and she'll get far more powerful insights than what she has got so far. But Shelna, thank you for sharing what you've shared. And then what she's saying right now here is that, yes, at the end of the day, it is my identity which I need to work upon. Like Lionel said earlier, that I need to validate myself that I am good enough and I am powerful enough and I'm as good as anything. Just yesterday, I was listening to another gentleman called Vishu. You may not have heard his name. He said, he is a black person, very powerful speaker, powerful coach. And at the age of 13, his father was killed with 9 bullets in front of him, 9 bullets. And he was from a small place where he could not have ever imagined that he could become what he has become. And he's a multimillionaire now today. And he's a speaker also, and then he's a big investor also. And he made some very powerful point. One of the things that he said, which I would like to share it with you, it's very brand new for me also, and for those who have attended with me earlier. He says that I realized 2 things in life, 2 core beliefs I have, he says. One is that everything anyone knows is learned, meaning nobody comes here born with genius, born with knowledge. Anything that anybody has acquired in life, he has learned it, and I can also learn it if I have the belief that I am not less intelligent than others. Very powerful. Core belief, he says, this is the belief that took me from where I am to where I have come now, where I was to where I've come now. And of course, he says the second thing, very important, he says, all excuses are valid. We give excuses, we give reasons. So all excuses are valid. I can give myself an excuse. Oh, COVID-19 situation. Last seminar that I did in person was 2 years ago or 1.5 years ago. And it's not my fault. Now I cannot communicate. And it's not my fault. I'm losing my touch and I'm getting rusted. I can say all that to myself. So he says, all excuses are valid, but that will not give you the result. Remember this. All excuses are valid, but they cannot give you the result. You can either have the emotion or you can have progress. Either go by with your emotions, your feelings, what you are right now saying to yourself. Go with that. No result, no progress. If you want progress, get out of it. Get out of your comfort zone. Ask yourself, are you taking every step every day to get out of your comfort zone? No? Then don't complain. Don't give an excuse. Don't give a reason to me. Oh, I mean, I cannot be a runner. I cannot do calligraphy. Now, of course, in the case of Bilkish, I also asked her one more question. Sorry, not Bilkish, but Sheldon, I asked her one question, that sometimes it is also possible that we do not know what we really want in life, you know. We do not know what our goals are. And then sometimes we take on goals which are neighbor's goal. Now, this is a very powerful statement. We take on neighbor's goal. Why do I want to become healthy? Why do I want to become healthy? Because that person is very slim and fit. Why do I want to make money? Because my friend has had a lot of money. You know, he's working much less than what I'm working, but he's got so much money, I must have money. Now, these are at times neighbor's goals. So you have to find out, what are you want for? What is your commitment in life? What is it that you want to contribute in life? And if you have a goal larger than your own self, probably you will find it becomes much easier. And in her case, I asked her, most people can very easily say what they don't want. Very few people know what they want. So ask also yourself whether this is your goal or your neighbor's goal. But if you are enough inspired by this particular project of yours, be at it. And you know, let me give you one very quick example here. What are we saying when we are saying don't focus on goals? What we are saying is, supposing you are meditating, you sit down to meditate. Now, if your goal is that after meditation, you want to become stress-free, then what you will find is that not only you are not becoming stress-free, but you will have the stress of not becoming stress-free while meditating also. Today morning, since 5 o'clock, I didn't want to keep awake. Why? Because I said I must get a proper sleep today for me to be ready, my 10 o'clock here, to be with you all in my full energy. Honestly speaking, the more I tried to sleep, the more I could not sleep. You see, the point is, our goals come in our way. The stress comes in our way. But if you meditate because you love to meditate, not worried about the goal of achieving salvation, not worried about the goal of achieving, as they say, you know, asal me vasal, or get enlightenment like Buddha. If that is not your goal, and if you're not even worried about becoming stress-free, I think you will find that you will enjoy and love doing meditation, and the outcome will be, hopefully, with a compound effect, stress-free life at the end of the day. I hope you're getting what I'm saying and you're listening. Now, let me quickly go through some of my slides, and I have got only another 15 minutes probably left with you all. So you will have to be with me. And of course, it's a paid program. It's a very, very inexpensive program. I can make it more inexpensive if you tell me and if you show me you're committed. But right now, COVID situation, 6 months, I'm unemployed. I cannot pay for it. No worries. We will look at that also. We'll get some sponsors and some scholarships from somewhere. But if you think it's a very, very nominal amount, and I want to have my skin in the game, if you're saying, I mean, if I pay only, then will I listen to you? Otherwise, I'm very, very odd, you know, very weird. I don't listen because my brain is hardwired not to listen to people who say good things to me. I only want to listen to things that I want to listen to. So let's go through my slides very quickly, some of them, and I want to talk about what I called beliefs, the power of beliefs. I'll introduce you to that, and we'll discuss that more in detail when we meet again. So what we are saying is, very quickly, somebody wants to share? Okay. So I'll share my screen now so that you can see my slides. Okay. We talked about not to focus on goal, and we said new future is about making something happen that wasn't going to happen anyway. So it cannot just happen automatically. You know, your car is stuck on a highway. You are all alone at night. Your car is stalled. You can only do one of the two things. One, you wait with your hazard sign on. Oh, somebody will come and stop and help me. That is one way. Of course, you are then praying only and you're waiting. Now, play the waiting game if you want. The other alternative you have is, you are not at the mercy of others. You will start pushing your car. Start pushing your car, even if it is uphill, because suddenly you will know After the uphill, it will go down, and chances are once the car starts moving, you might be able to do something about it. So you have only two choices. It's not going to happen anyway. But transformations occur only in a moment. But when it will happen, I do not know. You have to be with me for 6 sessions. It will occur in one of those sessions, one of those moments when you will suddenly get something that is missing in you, and you will say, oh, I mean, now I can see my back. Oh, now my eyes can see something that it was not seeing earlier, because eyes cannot see its own self. So we will talk about that. We talked about all the obstacles that come. We will not go into that, but these are the obstacles which we need to overcome. And you know, Anthony Robbins, I heard him say, the size of your life, the size of your life will completely determined by the size of the problems you undertake to solve. Now, are you taking small steps? Then your life is going to be small. And you are saying, oh, no, enough is enough, no more risks in life. Both kar liya maine, bahut maar khaya. I have really suffered in my life. I am not going to take any more risks in life. Thank you very much. The size of your life will be determined by the size of the problems you will take to solve. I'm inviting you. Let's take a big problem, and I will show you how those big problems will become small. Honestly, I'm telling you, you will become stress-free even handling big problems in life. So we are saying we want to be part of the 5% and not 95% who fail. And we are, although the victim of default future, we will become committed and not interested. We will say hell no to my past. And now I will start looking at my future, and I will identify my patterns. Last time I gave the example of peanut butter sandwich, very funny example. Let me just repeat very quickly because I want you to find this out for yourself. The guy comes to the office, opens his lunchbox and picks up the sandwich, has half the sandwich, and then gets bored and drops it back into his lunchbox, packs it, and sends it back. The friend of his sitting next to him says, Amin, what is wrong with you? Every single day you open the lunchbox, you pick up the sandwich, eat half of it only, and then drop the other half. Why do you do that? So he said, it is because every single day in my lunchbox, there is peanut butter sandwich only, the same sandwich. How can I eat every day? I'm tired of eating the same sandwich every day. So he says, oh, that is your problem. But that is a very small problem, he said. Why don't you tell your wife not to give you this sandwich? Vegetable sandwich, chicken sandwich, whatever sandwich that you like. Ah, I'm not married. Oh, you're not married. Why don't you tell your mom? She will give you another sandwich. Oh, I'm living alone. Oh, then what is the problem? Who's making the sandwich for you? I make my sandwich. Every morning I am late. And when I'm late, this is the easiest thing for me to pack at that point in time. So I pack my peanut butter sandwich and run for the office to be on time. And here I am, lunchtime. See the same sandwich, I can't eat. What is this particular story telling us? It is telling us you and I have a peanut butter sandwich syndrome. Our habits are coming our way. We are doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. That is insanity. Stop being insane. Let's break the pattern. Let's break through, not change. Whatever we will resist will persist. When you try to change something, it will persist more. I tried to sleep, I couldn't sleep. Don't do that. I'm going to show you another way, far powerful way, an approach that you will find so liberating that suddenly you'll find that you are not imprisoned and you are not in the box. You have freedom now to live the life the way you want to live. So we'll identify the habits, and I'm not going to into the problem with SMART goals, which we looked at. We won't overvalue the goals are necessary. We must know the direction. Sometimes direction, to find out direction itself can be a goal. Perfect. But we'll have a habit such that those particular issues don't come up in our life again and again, like cleaning the room. Okay. And then one important sentence you need to reflect upon is we do not rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. We need to fall to the level of our systems. Utni hi fikar karo. Just worry about that. How do I bring about a shift in my life? Yeah, it is about systems and habits. It's not about you. Now, somebody said very powerful here, set a goal of becoming a millionaire for what it will make of you to achieve it. You don't set a goal of becoming a millionaire because you want more money. In fact, if you make more money, just give it away, he said. But in the process of becoming a millionaire. Some people even have a problem. Money is evil, and I should not have too much money, and more money will become curse for me and more for my family and for my income tax, etc., etc. I get that. But even if you have a goal of making money, millionaire, it is not about making money. It is about what you will become in the process of making money. Shalina will become what she'll become in the process of going ahead with her calligraphy. Bilkesh will become what she will become in terms of mindset, in terms of philosophy, in terms of discipline, in terms of character. Whether she runs or doesn't run, doesn't matter. Whether the husband becomes slimmer or not, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But the mindset will shift. Philosophy, discipline, character. Now, what we are saying is the compound effect I must introduce to you, because those people who will not be with me in future, I want them to take this. This is again very powerful. If you had a choice of taking 1 million, 10 lakhs of rupees right now, or a single penny that doubled in value every day for only 31 days, which one will you pick? And I'm sure you will know that this is a trap for you. So you will say, I'll pick up a penny. But you may not know the reason for it. So I'm giving you the reason. Yes, pick up the penny only for 31 days. That doubles itself every day. And that will give you the idea that the compound interest works like this. And you can do it on your calculator after I finish my webinar. And you will find that on the 31st day, you will have 10 lakhs, 1 crore, sorry. Instead of 1 million, you will have almost 11 million on the 31st day. Can you believe this? I'm just talking about simple doubling of that penny every single day. Not many people have thought about this. Look at this graph. It's like the Chinese tree. For 27 days, it is not moving. But on the 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st date, it shoots up like crazy. I'm inviting you to look at this particular, just one little tip that I've given you today to see what compound effect can do to your life and your money and your issues in life and making you free. This is the circle that tells you the inner circle we will work on first in those 6 sessions, our identity. Inshallah, Lionel will validate himself while he'll be with us. We will then establish good habits, and then the outcome will take care of itself. Goal, we don't need to worry about it. It will happen. And this particular circle, I'm going to talk about in future, that our beliefs actually generate thoughts. The thoughts convert itself into our feelings. The feelings then determine our actions. So far, we will of course get out of this. But so far, this happens. And when the actions occur based on our beliefs, thoughts, feelings, those actions give us a particular result. Now, that result will once again reinforce belief, because it will give you one more evidence. I am only capable so much. So now I'm saying, do you know the power of this belief? Let me give you a very quick example of Stephen Covey only. Stephen Covey said, I hope you don't mind if I take another 5 or 10 minutes to complete my session, because I don't want you to go feeling that, oh, I didn't get my answer. It is about 10 o'clock right now. Please give me another 11 o'clock. Please give me another 5 to 10 minutes. Stephen Covey says, the gentleman with 3 children walks into an underground station in London. I have been in London for 4 years, so I know what London is like. Very quiet society. Not so much now, but in 81, 82, 83, very quiet society. Everybody in the train also would only open their newspaper and read their newspaper, hardly talk to each other. And I used to wonder, how do they survive like this? How can they not relate to each other? In Bombay, we keep talking so loudly, and of course, Bombay, forget about it. But that's extreme. But here, people were so quiet, and it's a noiseless society. In fact, we were ourselves so full of noise that our teacher used to tell us, behave yourself. This is London. You can't talk like this loudly. We would do it in the classroom. We would do it in the train. We would talk to each other, to our friends. Hey, oh, lambu ko dekh, because they were white people. They couldn't understand. So we would even talk like that. Very bad on our part. Now, when this father with 3 children comes into the underground station, I had once asked another gentleman in the train, he had 2 newspapers with him. So I told him, can I have one? Because in Bombay, you have a midday and you have an afternoon. If somebody is reading afternoon, you ask midday. So he gives it to you, right? Happily. I said, can I read your newspaper? No. He said, no way. And I was so taken over. What is wrong here? What am I going to take out of you? I'm just reading your newspaper. But no, you can't do something like that. Now, these 3 children started making noise. in the station right now, not in the train, in the station. And they started running around and very fidgety, and then picked up this, picked up that. And one child went to another person and picked up his newspaper, just like I did. Now, this fellow got so infuriated, so irritated. He just got up and came to this person, the father, and says, "Hey, listen, please take care of your children. They are making a lot of noise, generally irritating everybody. And why don't you ask them to keep quiet?" Now, he was so upset that he was literally angry and he couldn't stop himself. He was very worked up. Now, this father looks up as if he was in a sleep. And then he gets up, he looks at him and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." He looks at his children running around making noise. I'm sorry, I'll take care of them." "You better take care of them. Please ask them to behave themselves. This is London." And especially because he was not a white man, he told him that, "This is London." Oh my goodness. He said, please, I'm sorry, I'll take care of them." It so happened that we are just coming back from the hospital where their mother passed away. She expired. And we are right now going to arrange for the funeral. And I guess they are not able to take this news, and to that extent, they are behaving the way. Otherwise, they are very nice children. They don't do that. This fellow, shell shocked. He could not believe what he heard. He said, "Oh my goodness." You know what he told him then? "Please allow them to make noise. Please allow them to give vent to their feelings, because if they will not do that, they'll go crazy." Now tell me, one moment ago, this particular movement, noise, was irritation to this particular gentleman. A moment later, it became music to his ears. Why? And I won't go into detail, but I just want to let you know that in the first instance, his belief was that whoever behaves like this, whose children behave like this, they are very, very illiterate people, uneducated people, uncultured people. They come from a very, very small developing village, etc., etc., and they have no sense of what sophistication is all about. That's his belief, led to thoughts, his emotions, feelings, action. He shouted, he got the result. The moment he got this piece of information, his belief shifted. Oh my goodness, if a human being cannot be of help to another human being who has had a tragedy of losing mother and a wife, then that gentleman, that human being is not a human being, is an animal. The belief shifted, and the belief shifted because of the context. And that belief then told him, no, this noise is good. It's music to my ears. I'm feeling really good that they are doing this, and I'm feeling good, and I'm not getting irritated and not upset. If you are getting upset in your life, ask yourself, why are you getting upset? Is it because of your belief? And if it is because of your belief, what is the context that will allow you to shift that belief? I can't spend more time with you now, but I wanted to just introduce this particular notion. We are going to work on this, because if I can help you and coach you and support you in shifting your beliefs, I am telling you, you do not know who you are. Shall I tell you one more thing? I can give you the best gift today of Valentine. And the best gift that I can give you today in Valentine is to show you who you are by believing in you. That is the best gift anybody can give, by believing in you. Chances are you don't believe in yourself. I believe in you, and I'll give you the gift. And whoever believes in you, in your family, in your friends, in your relations, go and thank them today, because they believe in you. Therefore, you are who you are. So what I want to now let you know is that how will you be with me for the next 6 sessions? If you are meant to be with me. If you are for me and if I'm for you, then I'm saying be with me starting 20th, coming Saturday, and we'll have approximately 1.5 hour to 2 hour session. We will have some people sharing the way Bilkesh and Shelina and Lionel did. You will get more out of them than me. Honestly, I'm telling you, I will give you the bricks and mortar. They will give you the real life. They will show you that when they show you the finger, it is not the finger. It can be north. It can be up. It can be out in cricket. And yesterday we got everybody out very well in England. I was very happy to hear that. So let's come down to what it will take for you to be part of this particular session with me. So all we are saying is my regular program, these are the dates here, which you will get it in the email once you enroll. But what I'm saying is that generally I would have liked to charge $97 or 6,000 rupees. I understand the COVID situation. I understand all of you may not have jobs consistently. Lionel has a job, he can afford it, but subsidized price of only $27 if you can't pay $97, only 1,500 rupees if you can't pay 6,000 rupees. But be with me. This will barely cover my cost, but I want to be with you. I'd love to be with you. I'd love to have an opportunity to make a difference in as many lives as possible. And probably you will make a difference in my life also if you will be with me. If you have an issue of confidence, it will be there. Issue of becoming unstoppable, we'll strive at that. We'll consider this whole belief and this whole idea of identifying who we really are in those 6 sessions. You have got in the chat the link to click that. If you find difficulty there, we will send you an email also. If you don't get an email, write to me on amin@beingeffective.ca. And if you are saying that, what if I cannot attend, if I'm working, I can only tell you one thing, that generally, because you'll be part of this particular process, we keep this whole conversation very private. All my other webinars are available on YouTube, but not these last 6 sessions, no, because people share. And of course, they don't care if people come to know what they share. Like Bilkish will not care, and then Shelna will not care. She will be happy if it makes a difference in people's life. But I keep it private. Now, if you're part of this process and if you end up missing, I can send that to you only personally to you, which I will take your promise that you will only understand and then listen and watch that webinar, but nobody else, because you're going to be part of the group. But I'm assuming you will at least be able to attend some of them, because it is Saturday and Sunday, 2 hours each. And in case you miss out completely, and if you want to have a chat with me during those 6 sessions, we can even have some kind of a dialogue, because I do not want to have any reasons coming in your way if you're committed. If you think I'm making sense, if you think my technology has some power, if you think this is the only chance, I don't know when I'll repeat this again, and then therefore you don't want to miss it out, I will be there to support you. Ask me a question, we'll sort it out. But be with me. I urge you to be with me. Amin@beingeffective.ca, write me a question if you have a question. But I am hoping that you will be there. Many of you will be there, and we will have a very good time together. Ask participants in the last 6 sessions, they loved it. They had big breakthroughs. And all I want to tell you is that what will happen in that session, just last example I'll give you, and I'll complete my session today. And if you have any questions, you can ask me those questions. A gentleman enters the hall. The guru was sitting there, the master. And this gentleman enters the hall from one side of the door, one side of the wall. He comes in. It's a blank hall. The hall is completely empty. No chairs, nothing. He is the only person sitting on a chair. And this gentleman, quote unquote, is Western oriented culturally. I'm saying it quote unquote because I don't mean to generalize it, but I'm saying here the example says he's from the West. And he enters, comes to the guru, comes to the master. And as he comes to the master and bows in front of him, the master says, sit down. Sit, my child, sit down. And this particular disciple, student, says, Master, where do I sit? He's asking the question, where do I sit? Because he sees there's no chair there, no sofa, nothing to sit. It's all empty. He says, where do I sit? And at the same time, another disciple, another student enters from the other side. And he also comes to the master and he says, Master, what can I do? And the master says, sit down. So he also looks around and then sees that there's no place to sit. So he also asks the same question, Master, where do I sit? Where do I sit? Now, both had the same question, but a different context. The first one had the context, I always sit on the chair. I am from the West and there is no chair here. So he says, where do I sit? I can't see a place to sit. Other comes from the East. He has always sat on the floor to eat even dinner. So he says, Master, where do I sit? In the sense, in this big hall, where do you want me to sit? Because I can sit anywhere and everywhere. Are you able to see the distinction here? The first one is a question that I have no place to sit. Where do I sit? The other one says, I have abundance of place. I have infinite place. I have all the place in the world. So what part of the place, what part of the whole do you want me to sit? If we are right now having belief that blocks us, saying, I can't see opportunities, let's become the other person who can see opportunities galore. But I can understand one thing. Right now, you can't see it because it is all foggy, COVID-19. But remember one thing, even in the fog, if you're driving, you can see the 10 feet at least. You can't see the whole kilometer, but you can see the 10 feet. And that 10 feet, when you move ahead, will see another 10 feet. And when you move ahead, you'll see another 10 feet. So what I'm saying is start. Getting started is the most difficult thing in life. Start. Get started. And this Vishu that I talked about, I was so inspired by him. He had met Nelson Mandela twice in his life. So this questioner asks him, can you say something about Nelson Mandela? What is your purpose also in life? What kind of things that you want to do? So he said, I asked this question to Nelson Mandela, that what is your purpose in life for the mankind? And the answer that Nelson Mandela gives to him is faith. So he gets intrigued. Faith? Why do you say faith? I'm asking you, what is it that you have as a purpose for the mankind? So Nelson explained to him, he said, faith. See the invisible. See the invisible. Believe in the impossible. Believe in the impossible. And trust the unknown. Trust the unknown. See the invisible. Believe in the impossible. Trust the unknown. Nelson Mandela. I'm not saying we have to believe in religion or God or even spirituality for that matter. But what Nelson is saying is, you and I do not know who we are. We have to trust the unknown, believe in the impossible, and see the invisible. And chances are, let's go through the journey to see what is invisible right now in your life. We'll make it visible. I want to just complete myself by giving you the five big things very quickly, big ideas out of what Bilkish expressed and Shelna and Lionel talked about. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. If you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. Most effective way to change your habits is to focus not on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. The 4 laws of behavior change are a simple set of rules we use to build better habits. They are, make it obvious. I have not talked about it here this time. Make it attractive, not talked about it. Make it easy, maybe a little bit. Make it satisfying, a reward, give a reward. And more important, again, environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. So we need to create an environment, and inshallah, God willing, 6 sessions, we'll have that environment. We'll have the conversation. And if you are willing, be with me for these 6 days and be with me. Write to me if you have any problems. If there is any question that you want to ask me, please ask me right now. But I'm concluding my session here. And then I'm really wanting to thank all of you, allowing me once again to express myself, to be with you. Those of you who are here so far, once again, a big thank you. If there is any question, I'd like to answer. But if not, I think it has been a good day for you all in India. If you are in India, a good Valentine Day, hopefully. My gift to you of believing in you. You please believe in me. So we take this journey together. Thank you very, very much. And if you have any questions that you want to ask me through email, also feel free to ask. I'll see if I can respond or not, even if you are not part of that particular sessions with me. But keep interacting. Be in this conversation. Read the right kind of books. If you want the names of the books, I'll give you the names of the books also later on. But don't let this conversation get out of your life. Be there. I have given you a very inexpensive way of being with me. We will be there together. Thank you very, very much. Once again, all of you. I like to see all smiling faces here. I love it. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day, and fall in love with yourself, even if you don't have a romantic partner to fall in love with. This is the message from me. Start falling in love with yourself. Critical part. Big belief I'm asking you to take care of. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.